In general, what have you thought of what your group has done through 14 practices?
They've done a good job of, for one, trying to be leaders, trying to encourage guys, motivating each other. It's been a close-knit group. These guys have been pushing each other and challenging each other. And they've been giving, maximum effort. I'm really pleased with, where we are right now. But they've been taking turns making plays. And my biggest thing is, finishing. And I've been wanting those guys to finish, whether it's in the run game, finishing on the perimeter in the blocking game, and then also finishing with the ball in their hands. So we had some good days, and we had some days that hadn't been so well. But the consistency is starting. You're starting to see it.
We've heard good things about Keon Coleman's work habits and how he does film study. I guess what have you seen from him in that perspective?
He's come in and he's been acting like a pro. I've been pleased with him, the way he handles the way he handled the transition to coming to Florida State. He hadn't come in and tried to be somebody else. He's been himself, soaking everything in, asking questions. He's a quick learner, and he's been really good for that room. So he's displayed some really good things out on the football field, as a pass catcher, route runner, and blocking on the perimeter. So he's been really good for that room, and also being vocal and helping the young guys.
In what ways is Johnny Wilson, coming back, how has he improved?
He's a better route runner now, and he's at times he's better, catching the football. He'll have his moments, but he's done a really good job, transitioning in and out of his breaks, helping some of the younger guys, finishing on the perimeter. He's made some big time plays for us this camp, and he's got to continue to work to be consistent.
How good is that competition overall in the group compared to since you've been here?
Probably the most competition that we've had since I've been here. With multiple guys in multiple positions. Obviously we're bigger than what we were in the past. Which is a good thing. You have some of your smaller guys that's been battling as well. When they do battle, it's not only on the football field, but it's just everything that they do. How well they learn. They got to show me that, coach, you can trust me and put me in the game. And that's been the focus. Being dependable. And being accountable, holding myself accountable as well, to make sure those guys know what they're doing.
What's it like seeing Winston looking like the guy you guys thought you were getting? Just when you understand, just see how far he's come and what he had to go through. It's really pleasing to see him get back out on the field and run routes, catch balls, move. His ability to get in and out of breaks, those different things. Just good to see him out there running around with the guys.
How's Destyn Hill done in earning your trust, and also how impressed were you by how he came in after not playing competitively for a couple years?
And the kid loves to work. He doesn't shy away from it. He's been out for a while. Starting with the summer, with skills and drills. He's one of the ones that's been pushing himself. Straining. In the summertime. He's a guy that I've been on him, hard. He's been responding, man. He's been responding really good to, whatever we throw at him. We try to put him in uncomfortable, situations, and he responds to it. Now, a couple of times he's getting his butt kicked a little bit, but he's someone that when he really gets it, the fundamentals and the technique down, all right, he's going to be a problem.
Not just Johnny, you want everybody to catch every single throw coming their way, but with Johnny, I don't want to call it a trade-off, but on the whole, you guys got to be really, what he can do, just his skill set, it makes up for any sort of mental hiccup here.
Oh, yeah. Well, with Johnny, I'll say I've had some guys 6'5", 6'6". I never had a young man that can bend and change directions, getting out of his breaks, accelerating off the ball, and catching the football, his catch rate is like him. You don't get those type often. When you do get it, the first couple of times I saw him run, I'm like, he's different. He's going to be a special one, and he is. Just got to continue to grow and help him with his game to be that elite player, on every single play. But he is special.
Guys like him, Keon, Destyn, all these guys that we're seeing. What is your guys' role in this offense in terms of making it look as effective as it does right now at this point?
Well, those guys, they want to be playmakers. You know, and when you talk about, when Coach Novell talks about players coming to shine, here in Doak Campbell, you know, that's what they believe in. They want to be the best in the country. You know, they want to catch balls on the perimeter. But those guys got to understand too, and I always tell those guys, it's only one ball. You know, what if 1 week you have 8 to 10 catches, and the next week you got none? Are you gonna be happy for your teammates? You know, are you still gonna encourage, or are you gonna be disappointed? You know, so in that room we talk about being selfless players. You know, and that's really big, and it started, you know, in January. You know, because you know during the season, we got some guys out there. We got great running backs, great tight ends, you know, at the skill position, and everybody can't get the ball, you know. So their mindset's been, you know, when my number's called, I'm gonna be ready. You know, I want to be ready when my number's called, whether or not I'm the first guy, the second guy, or the third guy on the depth chart. You know, I got to be ready when my number's called. So everybody's playing a role. You know, going into this training camp, I told those guys, some guys are gonna go down. You know, who's gonna be ready? You know, because everybody's gonna get an opportunity, and they have. You know, and those guys are trying to take advantage of it.
Do you share stories from your days as a player? Because you guys have a similar situation. Or do you not bring that?
I don't bring it. Shut up, man. I don't bring it up as much as Corey Fuller wants me to bring it up a lot more than what I do. But I do bring up what it's like to be a receiver here at Florida State. You know, the things that we believed in when I was here, when I was a player here, and how we pushed each other as a player. You know, and we loved each other. You know, it was all about togetherness. You know, and I do bring up some of the stories and some of the different things I've gone through as a player, as a receiver here at Florida State. And those guys, they respect it. You know, they understand it, and they know what it means and what it feels like to be a receiver here at Florida State.
What is it?
You had Micah and Pokey who love to go downfield and block. How's that carried over to this group, especially with Johnny returning and some of the returners?
Yeah, I mean, that's our identity. You know, we want to be known for, you know, our physicality on the perimeter. You know, in the pass game, the run game, you know, but as run blockers, you know, we want to be physical run blockers. You know, and those guys take pride in that, you know, because you got the O-line, the running backs, tight ends are blocking for us on pass plays. And, you know, those guys want to return the favor, you know, in the run game, you know, so they take pride in that. And that's what they've been doing.
What is it that you want to see out of your group over the next 2 weeks leading up to game one in the sense of getting better at?
Yeah, you know, just being consistent, you know, that sense of urgency, you know, tempo in between plays, the communication, you know, with each other, communication with the officials. Just on every single play, you know, got to see that communication, you know, between the guys, you know, with the officials, all right, and then just playing faster, you know. You know, still got some of the young guys that's been getting reps. You know, now they've been getting more reps than normal, and they've been swimming a little bit. You know, so it's like get lined up, and not focus on anything around them. You know, and sometimes the defense change. You know, from pre-snap to post-snap. All right, and then sometimes we have motion or something like that. You know, so just getting the information from the sideline and processing it quicker.
What have you seen from Keon's acclimation period? It seems like he's starting to kind of more consistently make the plays. I think you think he will.
Yeah, he has. You know, and this past week's been a good week for Keon. You know, he's really turned it on. Has he been perfect? No. You know, but you've seen some moments, you know, where he's looked really good. You know, so he's done a better job of catching the football as well. You know, but it's good to see him playing a little faster and catching the football.
Is that an example of just a young guy having to learn how to practice?
Yeah, it is. You know, and I told him, you know, as well, like when he came here to watch us practice, he said we practice hard. You know, and that's something that he wasn't used to doing, you know, with the tempo and how much we run here, you know, at Florida State. And he just had to transition and get used to it. And sometimes it takes a little longer than others. You know, and I've been staying on him. Coach Novell's been staying on him. You know, and he's starting to respond. You know, so it's been really good to see him this past week when he's been, you know, really challenged to do some of those things and step up.
Jordan, during the summer, Jordan complimented Keon for how quickly he learned multiple systems. Is he just one of those guys that picks things up quickly, or was it just putting it out?
Yeah, he studies, you know, but he's a young man that retains the information, you know, so he's done a really good job with that. You know, like I said before, he always asks questions. You know, he's always quizzing himself, you know, on, you know, what do I have, what am I, if I'm at this position, you know, and we teach conceptually. You know, so he's done a really good job of picking up the concepts. Doesn't matter if I'm the number 1, 2, or 3 guy. You know, what's the concept? You know, I don't care what position I'm playing. You know, so he's done a good job with doing the studying. He's got really good habits. You know, and that's helped him to learn the offense and what we're doing.
I think sometimes fans and media, we see these 6'4", 6'7" guys. Can they all be out there together, or do you need more of the smaller guys sometimes?
They can be. Oh yeah, they can be.
Let's go 2 more.
What do we got to do to see you and Coach Sertan one-on-one? Can we make it happen?
Just line it up. Just line it up, baby. But it's got to be in the low red zone. It's got to be in the low red zone. Either fade or slant. That's it. That's all I got.
Should we put our money on you?
Hell yeah. What do you mean? That's a trick question. No, he does look good though. No, man.
Thanks, Coach.
I